The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Depends on what part of the planet you're watching this show. Welcome once again to Music and Conversation. I'm your boy D Nice, and you know, it's been a minute since we've been at you because I had to take some time and take a slight pause for the cause and get me right. Okay. Every once in a while, you got to get your right.
That's right.
Did a couple of surgeries, and the doctor got me ready to go back and play football real soon. I'll probably be playing for the Rams or the Raiders. Hey, we can dream, right?
Right.
That's what this show is all about right now. We've got some young dreamers with us today, and John is no stranger to us. He's been with us last time we did the event, and we're back again with some more heavyweights, heavy hitters. This is what we call our future reel makers, right here in training. You know, and you look young, man. How old are you, man?
45.
Oh, so look at Yes, that's how we do it right here. Okay, we're talking today because we want you to save this date. You've got to save the date, September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of 2023. That means Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, jam-packed with short films by up-and-coming filmmakers. And this is called Real Black Men Short Film Showcase. Now, let me bring this to you again. Real, R-E-E-L. That real, as in film. Now, let's go over here and meet one of the guys that have put this labor of love together. We're here with the one, the only, the hardest working man in show business today, Mr. John Forbes. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for inviting me, and tell my boss that.
He said he needs a raise. That's what he's implicating. Yes, you guys have worked hard, man, and I really respect that, what you've done and the foresight that has been put into that, and for the love and the vision that Ms. Sandra put in to come up with such a clean concept that is so dynamic. That has spanned the age. I'm telling you, 25th anniversary.
25 years.
Come on
I'm
now.
telling you, it's unbelievable, you know, because, you know, this all started with her wanting to put together the African American Film Marketplace as a festival. And our very first festival that we did, that she came up with and co-partnered with Ralph Scott, was called Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. And you know, she had just formed Black Hollywood Education and Resource Center.
Right.
And they said, what can we do? What can we do? And this is the idea that they came up. And that was 30 years ago.
Right.
And then 5 years later, we came up with Real Black Men.
Right.
And the whole point of it is our festival mantra is to have avenues for young, I shouldn't say young, I always,
Right.
but for up and coming filmmakers to have an outlet, you know, for them to screen their film, to show their works, and make it possible for people in the industry to see it. And that's what we try and do.
Right.
Right. Not only try, but we do it.
Right, because it's hard. Let me tell you something. I've been in the industry for over 40 years. If I wasn't in front of a microphone, I was creating
Right.
and putting together productions, and it's no easy task.
Right.
And being men and women of color, that's another deck that's stacked against us. So for having champions to come across an opportunity and not hold it, but to put it out there and say, look, this is what I have that I want to see brought to fulfillment, to fruition. And to watch the alignment of people that align behind them, hardworking people, people that have jobs, people that have other lives, to take out time to put it into young, talented people that say, look, I want something different. I can get out of the hood without being an athlete.
Right.
That's all they looked at us for years. If you play sports, you got a scholarship. But if you do anything other than that, if it's educational, oh man, they don't even want to give us education as we need it to enhance what we know about ourselves,
Right.
let alone something that they would call extracurricular. Remember when we were going to school, John, and we might be talking about a lot of our age right now, but you had classes that were combined. You had driver's ed classes available to us. We had wood shop. We had home ec for the women.
Right.
You had something that kept us enthused.
Right.
Now you can't find any curriculum in a high school that has anything that looks like that. You know what I'm saying? The whole system has changed. The biggest thing you're going to see on the school campuses now, metal detectors.
Right.
Where did we come to that? You know what I'm saying? So to find somebody that says, look, here's a way out. Here's another ticket. In film, everybody watches television. Now we're on this age of technology. Everybody has everything on their smartphones, on their tablets. So if you have a good film or good content, you could watch it virtually anywhere.
Or you can also make it anywhere.
That's exactly
That's
correct.
the
I
key.
saw, yes, these kids out there with these little cell phones are making movies. You're sitting there going, what the? And they said, oh, it was made on an Apple 5. And I'm like, I don't even know what Apple is, but they're doing it on television, on these little phones, iPhones. And I know it takes a lot of thought, a lot of desire, and a lot of drive. And that's what you guys with this organization has been culminated. So let's
thank you.
go back a little bit. And although Sandra's not with us, I know she's here with us in spirit. Let's talk about her for a minute, the drive and the vision, and you know what I'm saying? Because she knew this was going to succeed.
Right.
She put too much time and effort into it for her not to.
Well, she had a vision, you know, and that's what it all starts. She had a vision, and this is what she wanted to do. And you know, she looked at it and says, "Hey, you know, where are the opportunities for young African American filmmakers, male and female?"
Right.
There was none out there, really. And that's when this started, you know, when we started doing these short films. And we would have, 4 or 5 short films, you know, 25 years ago.
Right.
You know, that was it. And it was hard to get those films. Today, we had over 200 and some films submitted for Real Black Men. Out of a total of, let's say, the last 6 years, we've had over 15,000 films submitted to us. And all these films is not just from Los Angeles, but all around the world.
Right.
Various different countries. Africa, England, Australia, you know.
Right.
So, you know, Spain. So we get all of these filmmakers, you know, you see these films, and it's no easy chore, I'll be honest with you, to get your film on one of our festivals.
Right.
We're doing, let's say 4 festivals. We do, Sisters are doing it for themselves, Real Black Men, a youth festival, Diversity Film Festival, and our big film festival, called the African American Film Marketplace and S.C. Manley Short Film Showcase. We're doing all of these films, you know. So we wanted to make sure that we gave every opportunity, every age level, a chance. Hey, if you have a vision, you have a dream, make that film.
Right.
But hey, just because you make it, we're not going to air it.
Of course.
But so we'll give them notes and we'll give them critiques on it. So the next time they come in, hey, they'll be there. And so like today, the two filmmakers that's on this show here today, hey, it was no easy chore.
Right.
Hey, we looked at the film and judged them both very hard. And hey, and they passed the test. So that's that's one element of this organization.
Right.
The other, while we're talking, the other element of the organization is that we try to work. We don't try. We work with the studios. Every studio in this town, we work with them in promoting black films. You go to our website, bhrc.org, and look at the black films that we help promote. We do first screenings.
First
weekend club screenings, because we know how important it is to get people to go out to see the films the first weekend they open. As film comes out, we might love the film, but if it has not been promoted properly, the studios will look at it and pull it. And so, hey, so it might open in 1,500 theaters, and that film does poorly. Hey, next week, it's in 700.
Gotcha.
And then it keeps on until it disappears. But if it opens up in 1,500 theaters, hey, and we are behind that film,
right?
Hey, the next week it becomes, it's a hit. The next week, instead of 1,500, it's in 2,500 theaters. And keeps on going to 3,000. And it gives it a long run.
Gotcha.
So that's how important what we do at BHRC and the First Weekend Club to the studios.
Right.
And they're realizing this.
Wow. No, this is something new because, like I said, it's hard enough to get anything seen, even in your neighborhood, your community.
Right.
But you're dealing with major studios that think enough about what you are doing and developing that they're saying, okay, we're going to buy into this. But saying, prove yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody along the line is knowing they got to prove yourself. You just can't jump up tomorrow, write a little script and say, okay, I'm going to get a camera and just start doing some things and think it's going to move. Because still, once they buy into what your dream is, it's okay, we'll screen it. Like you said, if the numbers are not there, we're a number-driven society.
Right.
If nobody's watching or nobody's enthusiastic about it, I can understand them saying, well, you know what, we can't work with this.
Right.
But if it continues to make headway and steam, then of course they're going to find some interest for it. They're going to find a place for it.
Exactly.
So we're not isolated. We are giving opportunities, but we've got to take the responsibility of doing something with the opportunities.
Yeah. It's like this young man here. He's been with us for a long time.
Right.
Gotcha. Hey, and hey, he did a great film.
Right, got you.
He did a really great film.
I get a chance to go and support all the other programs they have. I do get the newsletter for the First Week Club. I would have never went to see Little Mermaid.
Okay, gotcha.
But I got that newsletter, and they said, this is one of our sisters on front. She's up front. Let's go support this film. I supported that. I remember getting a newsletter for Creed.
Okay.
So all of these movies with black faces, and I get that newsletter, and I tell my wife, let's go. We got a date night. It's always a date night.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
So like you said, the first week is really important. So.
Yeah. So I want you guys to take out your pens and papers. I got about 30 seconds for you to do that because we're giving you good information. We're giving you life-changing information today, and we want you to keep up on these notes because we're going to give you addresses, phone numbers to how to get to these certain venues, how to get to what we need to do. Now, they're going to put on a film festival like I talked about earlier when I showed you the little flyer. So right now we're going to go to the sounds and the looks of the festival. Stand by and let's see it in 3D. Wow, that was short and sweet, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
You guys be there. I want to see your faces in the places because, man, that's great.
Where is it now?
Yeah, it's going to be
The Regal.
the Regal.
Live.
Right
LA
here,
Live.
the Regal Live. You know
That's
about
it.
LA Live. Oh, y'all don't party downtown. Quit playing, okay?
All right.
And it's the Regal Live, and it's 1000 West Olympic Boulevard, City of Los Angeles, 90015. For those that are trying to put it in their GPS, it's right there.
It's right
downtown.
there. Yeah,
Now-
we got over 47 films in this festival.
Wow.
You know, and so hey, and you just saw a little bit of it there. And hey, like I said, our filmmaker here and all these other filmmakers, they
Right.
got some really great films. I'm going to tell you, and like I said, we had for this festival we had over 200 people, 200 submissions, and they came from around the world.
Okay.
Again, Africa. We had Florida State, we had UCLA, we had USC, we had Cal State, Northridge, we had Chapman. So we have a lot of filmmakers, and like I say, just as the sisters are doing it for themselves, we're finding out now that hey, which we already knew, but we want the world to know that hey, we got some talented black filmmakers out there,
Right, no doubt.
and they are just looking for an avenue, and this is what we're giving them.
Right.
And we would hope again that you come out and support this festival, please.
Oh, we're gonna
You're
keep
going
on.
to see some things that you haven't seen.
Right. When I went to, I was floored because everywhere you turn, people were running around. They had the cameras with them.
Right.
They were there on site putting footage together, and I'm like, okay, well, who's going to be in the next movie? But they just draw you in because you can feel that fervor and flame, fire inside these youngsters, and they're like, okay, where do we go next? And if I got it right, these filmmakers put together their whole crew. They write their own scripts. It's not like, they send out a script for somebody to read and then they pick it. No, they do it from scratch. Is that not correct?
Independent.
Right.
A lot of these filmmakers are independent.
Right.
And I think the benefit of coming to a BHERC event is networking. Even
right.
if you don't have a film, you can come and build your crew from there.
Gotcha.
I was able to go to 3 events before I had a film selected. And the networking, I remember Antoine Fisher. This brother was so open with us. He basically said, if they give you $200,000, pay your taxes. And if you overpay, don't worry, they will give it back. He was talking in detail. And that was such a joy just to
Right.
hear details from professionals that come to visit
Gotcha.
the set of BHERC. I mean, like the festival.
Right.
So I would just suggest anybody just the networking because you can find a writer if you're not a writer.
Right,
You can find a
right.
director. Actors are everywhere. So I went. The last event was sisters doing it for themselves.
Right.
And the sisters came out and supported each other. And I was just so happy to be there. I didn't even know anyone that had a film there. But it was so spectacular that I came the next day.
Right.
I
Right.
came
Right.
again.
Right.
I was supposed to go for one day, but I bought a ticket and came again. And I told my wife, let's go again. And she was like, yeah, that's great.
Right.
And sisters are really doing it. It's a lot of great films. And one thing I got to say about BHERC is the quality control.
Right.
Because they making sure your movie is up to par.
Right. Got it.
Because, you're on their platform. So
Yeah, you brought that into just on time. Because, John, let's talk a little bit about the criteria. What are the criteria, some of the criteria you guys are looking for when you're going through a million films?
Right. One, we look for story.
Okay.
That's the key. 2, we look for production value. Those are the 2 key things
Right.
that we look for. If you have those 2 items, 9 times out of, and how the film is crafted and put together
Gotcha.
and directed, how it's edited, lighting. We look at every production angle and, that they do in the film. So if you have lighting, I said directing, editing, the screenplay, the acting. So we look at all of that, and it's almost like when you're reading this, when I was working in the studios, you could tell in the first 10 pages if you got a script.
Right.
So you read those 10 pages, put it away. And you could almost tell the same thing in film. You look at the first 10, 15 minutes of that film, you say, this is not going to work. Or,
Gotcha.
hey, this is good. It grabbed you. And sometimes, something you think ain't gonna work, all of a sudden
Right.
you bam,
Right.
boom,
Falls
and
right
it
in
just
line.
falls right into place,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so it's those things that are important. I think it's very important. He's talking about writing,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing I will always remember what a writer once said,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, writing is not just writing a script, but writing is rewriting. You gotta, you write something, you're gonna rewrite it.
Right.
You're gonna constantly rewrite it until it gets right,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what writing is right there. And so you got, and so like I say again, what we basically look for is the script, the direction, the production value, the photography, the directing, all of those elements that come together that make a film.
Right.
We're looking at all those things. So you could have a real good story, but hey, if the lighting ain't right, it's too
Right,
dark,
right.
it don't work. Hey, the directing is bad, it doesn't work. So any of those elements could be good, but if something else is really
Right.
bad, it wouldn't work. And so that's the one thing out of BHURC with our various festivals. Each year, we've noticed our filmmakers have gotten better and better and better. It's just like, for instance, this coming film festival, Ryan Coogler was part of our film festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm D. Lee, Tim Story, alumni is strong. Alumni is very strong.
Right.
Yeah, very strong. So, that's what we look at. And so we feel very strong about that. And Gina Prince Blight was on the female side, We have all of those types of filmmakers who have come through and that I've had the pleasure
Right.
of touching hands with and shaking hands with, like that.
Man. So it's the spirit of excellence
Right.
from the conception to all the way to the end.
Oh, yeah. And then the advice. I love the panels when they break things down. Miss Debbie Allen, she was at Sisters doing it for herself, and she just gave some of the best advice. Just make a film. It don't have to be good. Take your cell phone these days
Gotcha.
and just get to work. And you will improve, like you said. It's a rewrite. You keep doing it again and again until you get it right.
Gotcha. Man, that perfection, I like it, man. It's about time. Because back in the day when they used to bring out the black movies, I'd look at them, I'd be like, why is it so dark when we went from this room to this room? And I mean, or what is this? I can't see it. And there was a lot of things that I noticed. I'm like, no, I'm hoping that these young people are not bringing something like that. But when I went to the festival and I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, they putting time and grade into this.
Right.
Then my whole mindset was changed because I see that they rose to the occasion. We don't want to just be the same old yesterday's regurgitated
Oh, yeah.
madness, and that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So man, we got
Yeah.
a filmmaker on the line that you were associated with, and you know what I'm saying, you thought somewhat to bring him on. And so we have a young man, Mr. Luke Harris, has been with us on Zoom. So, Mr. Luke, are you there?
I am here.
And
Hello,
the
everyone.
mic is up, man. Look at you. You
Hey,
just
Luke,
look like
how
you
you
ready
doing?
to. He looks like he's ready to jump out the stable, isn't he? Like Hollywood Park. Luke, we're going to ask you a little bit about what, because we're going to screen. You have a trailer. We're going to screen that one, and the name of his is called Tamboo. And we're going to come back and we're going to let you just shred it up for us a little bit, okay? We'll be right back.
Oui, aussi. Nous manque ça tous les jours. Mais nous manque toi.
No la famille connectée en ville. Topak Babwa, kissing no bestas.
Value of what you brought to it, man. The lighting was, we were just talking about lighting, you know what I'm saying? But there's a couple of questions that kind of stuck with me. First off, why in the different language? Were you trying to get
Yes.
something? Talk to us.
So that so this film was in sponsorship with this grant called the Create Louisiana French Cultural Film Grant. So awarded us $25,000 to make this film, with it being touched with French speakers and francophones in the Louisiana area. So I'm also going to give you a little more backstory about myself. So I went to USC, and after graduating, well, actually during COVID, I came back home, and I had a sit-down conversation with my grandfather, and I learned that he spoke Louisiana Creole. So Louisiana Creole is it's a French, it's kind of a sub language of French, but it's its own language that's typically spoken people in Louisiana. And there's less than 10,000 people who still speak the language. And when I talked to my grandfather, he told me that he knew how to speak that language. And this is something I didn't know until I was, of course, way older. And, that kind of inspired me to write this film about like this relationship with this grandfather and grandson, and this grandson learning, this language from his grandfather that's not mainstream, not many people know about. It's a dying language. There's less than 10,000 people speaking it today. So, I made this film to also bring awareness to the language and its people.
Wow, I like it. And you had the subtitles there too, creatively, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Now,
you know what's great about the film is the relationships. Is the relationships between the mother, the daughter, the father, grandfather, the son.
right.
Yeah.
So what prompted this? I mean, was it a life story that's embedded in this one, or where did this come from? The idea.
Yeah, so it's shot entirely from New Orleans, which I'm from, born and raised. And a big part of the film is centered around gentrification. That's kind of the theme through it, that a lot of people who are native in the city, they're moving out, and typically moving out for money reasons. So it's been in reality where a lot of people in the city who they're essentially forced to move out. We saw a lot of people move out during Katrina, and we're losing a lot of our culture in the city. So I wanted to show a realistic take of someone who's struggling. He's a guy. The tambour is an African drum, so that's something that he plays, and he goes down the street with his grandson to try to raise money. He wants to stay in his home. He wants to stay in New Orleans. But it's just he's also facing against the reality that times have changed. He's older, and people are his culture is leaving. His heritage is leaving. He's fighting against everything to stay and preserve it.
So you did draw down on some of the experiences, huh? That makes for realism. I like that. And so let me ask you from the financial aspect side, okay? So when you got the grant, how did that work for you? Did you have to just kind of like put your crew together from that, or you just said, we're going to just go full-fledged with it and just make everything fit within? Because you're going to have some people that have this question now. How do you fit this into a budget?
Mm-hmm.
So let's
that was actually the most challenging part of it. I was in the film school mind setting where a lot of people will work for free on sets, but now when you're dealing with budget and dealing with money and timing, you really got to break things down. You really got to figure it out. So there was extensive discussions and figuring about the money we have. We had to raise even more money afterwards because there was still a lot of there was things that we wanted to have in the film, and it was really complicated because it was really the language aspect. Luckily, I got in contact with our producer, who's one of 3 people who speak the language, and he was able to translate the whole script. Was able to be on set, and then our lead actor, Lance Nichols, he's a well-known actor, especially in the New Orleans area. He's been in big movies like the Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Treme, and he had to learn the language in less than like 2 weeks, and the drums right before we started shooting. And He was just so up to for the task, and so it was just a lot that had to get done. A lot of moving parts to make sure the film is authentic. But I'm really, really proud of the team.
Wow. A lot of work. Now let's take a slight pause for the cause right quick. Filmmaker to filmmaker.
Okay.
Talk to us. What you saw in Help a Brother, or what you see that could tighten it up.
Actually, I really loved his trailer. His trailer was fantastic. I love the fact that he shot in his native Louisiana. I'm really excited to see his film,
Got you.
And he went to USC, so they put that stamp on him.
You heard that too, huh?
Yeah, he went to USC, so I know we're ready to see something good.
Right. Okay.
So
these are challenges he talked about are challenges that just go from city to city, state to state, no matter where. You're going to have a budgetary constraint.
definitely.
And having to raise that money and more. Because that's no budget at all. That's a budget for getting a car fixed nowadays.
Exactly.
So putting a film together that's going to be presentable, yes, there's a lot to go into that.
Oh, yeah.
So, brother, I'm telling you, you did a good job, man. Good luck on it, but you've already got the background skills anyway. When you said UCLA, man,
USC.
I mean USC. My bad. They're gonna come. They're gonna come after me. Everybody looked at me like, "Don't have me come at." Yeah, USC, man. You came from a very good school, and I can see on your face that you believe in what you do, and this is the start of many more for you, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you the question like I usually ask everybody. Where do you see
All right,
yourself? Where do you
production
see,
for another one.
yeah, where do you see yourself in 2 years?
I see myself completing my first feature.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That man.
Hopefully premiering it. That's the goal.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. That's what I'm talking about. On the big screen, right?
Yes, on the big screen.
That's
That
good.
means he's writing it now.
Did you hear John said that means you're writing it down, huh? Send him a few notes so we can sit back and sit back. No, I appreciate you taking the time out, brother. Good luck with that one, and we will see you on the festival scene, right? And
Well,
we look
can you
forward.
tell the time is showing?
Now, but please, this is you.
Okay, yeah, it's screening. It's on Saturday, the 23rd at 2 p.m. And then on Sunday, the 24th at 11 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Are you in block 2?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I think I'm in block 2.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
excited to see
But
him.
but I know it's on those times. 2 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday.
That's right.
Okay, beautiful. That's what we're coming for. Man, I look forward to seeing your face in the place because I'm definitely going to be there to support you, brother. And I'm looking forward for that feature coming out, too. Believe me, I'm going to be looking for everything that USC taught you and some.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
All right.
you all.
Thanks for the time, brother.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Wow.
That was tight.
Amazing film.
They got me when he said $25,000. And man, who would ever think that you could get anything? You can't even rent cameras nowadays for that.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was, yeah, that's got to be a labor of love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now let's turn to your project.
Yes, sir.
Now set us up for your project
Okay.
as we get ready to set you up on this end of it. So have it in your mind because we're going to come back and we're going to grill you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our man on a stage right now bringing you, and let me see what we're going to have for you today. It is called How We Came to Be.
That's right.
And we have with us in the house Mr. Marquette Jefferson. Enjoy it. Okay.
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 Talk
So,
about something else.
all right. So let's go now. Where were you? Where's your background? What school you gonna rep right now?
Okay. Went to Cal State Sacramento. I went to
Okay.
Sac State.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh. Sac.
Believe it or not,
Right.
Ryan Coogler went to that school before he went to USC.
Really?
Lester Holt went there. Tom Hanks went there. So we're not really on the map, but these are just a few of the faces
Right.
that come out of Sac State.
Okay. He's dropping notes. See, folks, dropping them names. But those are great names to drop.
Oh, yeah.
So what inspired you to go off into the project?
Okay, this project, COVID happened.
Okay.
So COVID told us to sit down, and basically I wrote a feature film.
Okay.
Wrote a feature film, and I said, well, let's kind of do a demo, a concept 1st. And we basically said, okay, let's break it down, broke the script down. And after they said we can go out, believe it or not, our guys had to have a COVID shot. They had to have their card. And we didn't cast people because we couldn't get anyone sick. So if you didn't have your COVID card,
Right.
we didn't even take a chance at all.
Gotcha.
And that's after, everyone had the shots and the boosters. And the movie is 17 minutes. We were in production 8 days. The film cost $6,000. The financing came from my wife and I.
Okay.
Once they said we can go back to work, I drove Uber to pay for this film. So basically, we say, oh, guys, we don't have this location.
Right.
I had to go out and get more money.
Got you.
So, you had to get the locations, you had to feed everyone.
Right.
With this COVID thing, you remember how you used to have like Twizzlers or like a tray of food? We couldn't have anything laying out for craft service. Everyone, we had to go out and buy dinners for everyone individually.
Individually wrapped. Right.
Yes, so that chewed up the budget, locations, and then you wanted to make sure everyone is safe. So that was some of the challenges we have, and then you got to work around everyone's work schedule.
Right. Correct.
So
Yeah, because I mean, when you doing volunteer work, you still
No.
bring in the bread and butter.
they were paid.
Oh,
We paid everybody.
see there?
Oh yeah, you work with us. We want to make sure because we know you gone to school for your talent,
Right.
And you have improved. And we went to Backstage. That's where we casted from, and we went to Pierce Space for the locations. So we have a lot of great locations, and the food is real steaks. We went to Denny's.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, like I said, being creative is a part of the filmmaking process too.
Definitely.
People don't get it. They just think it's just, somebody has something written down, looks kind of good, and got a couple dollars in my pocket. Let's go with it. There's a process to everything.
Oh yeah.
Especially to filmmaking.
Definitely. And then you want to keep the quality up because I know at the Real Black Men Film Festival, just even from the brother just a second ago, his trailer was beautiful. And everyone's shooting 4K now.
Right.
Technology has really worked in our favor, but you have to use it right.
Yes.
Because you can have all the technology in the world and still not have a great story, like Mr. Forbes said. You got to have a great story.
To start with.
Oh, yeah.
That's even a start. And then, like I said, it's kind of mind-blowing because I thought that was a cheap budget when the brother said $25,000. You told me $6,000. I'm figuring, what did you do for $6,000? You know what I'm saying?
$6,000. Everything you see for $6,000 is on the screen.
Right.
And we had a skeleton crew. And my wife, we'd be working, and I'm exhausted because I just drove Uber. And she say, hey, buddy, you're running low on money.
Right.
I have to go back out.
Ooh.
Because remember, with Uber, you get paid every single day.
Right.
So basically, we do that. We get the money orders for everyone, and we would pay them, and everyone to go pay their bills. I am basically the cell phone bill money. You pay your actors $150 a day, and you try to keep their days their time about 5 hours.
Okay, got you.
So I try to keep it there. I hired the best people that I could possibly hire, and they just came and nailed it.
Right. So. Man, you had to sit back and figure out all the finances, lay it out, come back with everything, and still go out there and make the bacon to make it happen.
Yes. I'm a dreamer, and I'm so proud to be a part of this festival with other dreamers.
Right. And I'm proud you came along, man. I just, and so your block is showing, what block do you have?
We're in block one.
Let's get out there. Block one, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the same timing?
It's going to be at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And we have 25 tickets sold.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Love you.
So
basically,
yes, I called friends and family, and I said, hey, I have this here. I can buy the ticket. Can you give me the money? And they said, sure, we'll send you the money, and I would just buy their ticket.
Right. No, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. You want to pre-purchase these tickets because the day of the festival, you know. So
Sisters sold out
completely.
Just like that. So, and these films are on that level. So this is going to go fast. So.
Oh, I know it is. You guys don't sleep on
screenings.
this. Do not sleep on this, man. The date again is September 24th, 25th, and 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of 2023. And it's going to be fantastic. Real Black Men Short Film Showcase. And we just heard from a young man that's entered into there, and this young man here, with his outstanding $6,000. I'm still that's going to haunt me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking about doing something along the line of writing a book. And they told me don't even sit down with less than $50,000 to start with. So a movie?
Well, this is how. Back in when you was making films, you had to process the film.
Right.
We have SD cards now.
Right.
And you can just take forever. You don't need 16 minutes. Remember, that was a lot of film.
Right.
We're in a digital age where you can say, go again.
Gotcha.
That's why it's there.
Okay.
And my wife and I, we roll with 3 cameras at one time.
Okay.
So we have 3 4K cameras. So if we got it right the first time, let's move on.
Got you.
So.
Oh, man, that's smart. Technology is something else. Well, these youngsters know how to flip it, don't they?
Oh, yes.
Because I was thinking about when we were trying to do things, man, you know what I'm saying, on the block. You know, whether it was rappers or
process.
Yes.
Processing of film.
Even photography, you know what I'm saying? The dark rooms and everything,
Dark
man.
room,
Times have
right.
changed and things have changed, and it's really good to see it change. Man, I'm telling you. And so how long have you been aware that you wanted to do this as a living, right? This is what
Yes.
you want to do.
Okay. So, goodness, this is aging. Michael Jackson Thriller
Okay.
was directed by John Landis. I not only wanted to be a Michael Jackson backup dancer, I wanted to be Michael Jackson,
Okay.
and I wanted to be this little Jewish guy named John Landis,
Okay.
who was holding his hand like this and shooting the film. And I thought it was cool because, first of all, Thriller scared me.
Right.
And then they showed behind the scenes on BET. And they showed you how they made it. And I was
Right.
like, wow.
Right.
And then I started following John Landis all over, Trading Places, the Blues Brothers. And I just kept getting interested and getting interested. And anytime someone had a DVD, they always had behind the scenes.
Okay.
And when John Singleton did Boys in the Hood,
Right.
Matty Rich did Straight Outta Brooklyn, Spike Lee did a bunch of movies, and Robert Townsend did The 5 Heartbeats,
Right.
Meteor Man. I saw all those movies. This is when you can go to the little video store. You saw a black face on a box,
Right.
you just rented it. You didn't even know what you rented.
Got you.
That's
Got
the
you.
first time I brought home The 5 Heartbeats. And that movie was spectacular.
Right.
Had everyone singing. And that's really the dream. And then, here's the crazy part. I continued my education. So after Sac State, moved to LA. And it was someone who was interning at Be Heard. Came in with flyers
Okay.
and say, hey, you need to check this out. And that was my first time going. I didn't have a film in there. I didn't know what to expect. I paid the little $15. And for the first time ever, I met Antoine Fisher.
Okay. Got you.
And they had this breakdown. They had where they could just tell you how to do it. They give you advice. And it was kind of one of those, hey, if you have a question, raise your hand. Someone's
Right.
going to come around with the microphone. And this brother was so detailed. I've been to every event ever since then.
Okay.
I subscribe to the newsletter. So anything they say, I'm all over it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. You know what? You got my man. I'm just hackling at the bit now. Let's play this trailer. I want to see this.
How we came to be the trailer.
Yes, it is.
This time.
By the sky.
Bobby Munoz didn't have a job and lived a simple life. Until the day his girlfriend left him for someone else.
Russell, nice to meet you.
Now, to get her back,
How do I look?
Bobby Munoz has taken on multiple jobs and reinvented himself. Jams 155 Entertainment presents Havon Baraka, Serafina Lentrikia, How We Came to Be.
All right.
I've seen that scene before many times.
You've lived it, huh?
Yes, I have. I didn't want to go there, but yes, indeed. Wow. So, talk to me now. What brought this about?
To be honest, I have a lot of friends. I'm happily married.
Okay. First and foremost, he's showing. Okay, I got you.
But dating in LA could be tough.
Yes, it is.
And I'm listening to my friends from New York and Chicago, Miami, because, people may want something in the beginning, but it changes.
Right.
And when you hear these stories, I felt like I knew this story. So I was taking a younger me, what I knew, and I took some like from you or someone else, and I would just say, "Oh my gosh, how can you break up?"
Right.
This guy's a slacker. He stay home. His hardworking woman is sick of it. He's awesome at playing video games.
Right.
And she fall in love with her work husband.
That's slick. Yeah, that's usually what happens. That's the truth, though. I mean, yeah. Wow.
So just built off the story and just basically wrote the feature film first.
Right. Got you.
And pulled it back. And if you could tell a good short story.
Yes, indeed. Right.
You have something.
Yes.
So right after we wrapped on this, we wanted to find a home. And we're so happy B. Herc is home.
Right.
So they basically selected. And after we did that, we just wrapped on the feature.
Got you.
Wow, congratulations.
Oh, yes.
All
Man,
right. All right.
I'm afraid to tell you how much that cost.
No, you'd probably shock me on that one too. It's probably cheaper than I could get it any other place. This is a guy to go to when you need to get money hooked up.
Congratulations.
Yes, that's so. John, I can understand why such a zest and a zeal behind the festival. With people that are infectious like this and say, hey, I got something I want to tell. There's a story I have to tell. And they're following the criteria, and you guys are looking at it and wanting nothing but quality, and that's what you're bringing to the table. And I appreciate this, John.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, that's what it's all about. To hear, just listening to him,
Right.
man. It just makes you feel proud.
Yes, yes,
that you had, something
Right.
to do. And that's just screening the film, just
Right.
making the film available for people to see.
Exactly.
Because that's what filmmakers want. They want,
Right.
the money is important.
Yeah.
But most of all, they want people to see their work.
Right, exactly.
And that's what's important.
Exactly.
And that's what makes me, Sandra, we have a young lady by the name of Stephanie Johnson. That's what makes us all feel proud.
Exactly.
When we see the smiles on the young filmmaker's face.
Right.
And then we turn around and we see someone that was part of our festival at one time.
Right.
And now they're going on,
Exactly.
into other heights. And one of the good things that our festival does is it's like family.
Yes.
It's definitely like family. And so they go ahead and become someone, and then they come back. I mean, you take
That's
Michael
cool.
Schultz.
Right.
Michael Schultz will be at our festival this year.
Cooley High.
It's Cooley High, celebrating over 50 years in the business. As I said, Ryan Coogler,
Right.
Who did a short film, called Locks. We're going to screen that film at our festival. Now, here's a man who's made billions of dollars.
Right.
And then, hey, you see this film, and it's for me, one of the top films called Locks, 6
Right.
minutes long.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. And we have a David Massey, who's the first black to be nominated for an Oscar in the short film category. We have him being, they're going to be there. So we have an unusual large group, and we have, they cloned Tyrone, the director there, Jewel Taylor. He's going to be there. So we have all of these people showing up
Right.
at the festival.
Right.
And like I say, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
For the years that you guys have been involved with stuff, it's like you're graduating kids. And that's always a pleasure when you see your kids graduate and go on to something else. You're like, they're finally out of the house.
Out of the house.
The next one's up. The next, what I'm saying? So it's a pleasure to find somebody who has the fortitude like you did, man. I mean, I am humbled by the fact that you had a vision and you said, if I got to go out there and work to make it happen, and then your wife gonna make sure you go rework.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that takes a lot. And to be able to balance all that and still come out with quality product, man, I'm proud of you.
I definitely see the benefit would be Herc.
Right.
Because think about it. You have a little film. It could be 3 minutes, right? Or 5 minutes, right?
Right.
They're going to put you on their platform.
Right.
Thousands of people will see it. You have 2 days.
Got you.
And when they do, once you get that done, and then you're on the red carpet. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're on the red carpet. The red carpet is serious.
Right.
photos are right, your Instagram is popping, you're letting the whole world know what you want to do.
Correct.
Even if you haven't made a film yet.
Right.
You know, you're the main one out there without a film.
Right.
But you have that step and repeat behind you.
Got you.
And, you know, once you see Be Herc, you know the quality is there. You know, it's world class all day.
Got you.
So.
Now, John, let's because we got about 5 minutes left. Let's go into Be Herc a little bit and give us a background on it and how somebody listening out there, a young person, might say, "How can I get involved? How can they?"
Well, you know, first of all, go to bherc.org.
Okay.
And you can see our address and our email there.
Okay.
You can get the information. And, you know, we're always looking for young, talented people who want to intern and work with us.
Gotcha.
You know, and one of the things that we're working at now is opening doors at the studios for the same thing. You know, one of the problems that we have, difficulties, is that a lot of these young African American filmmakers, you know, don't have an avenue into the studios. And so what we're doing is opening that door for them, letting them know what programs they got, and who to talk to, and how to get in there. That's very important. Most studios have a diversity department.
Got you.
But, you know, one of the things that this new trend is going on today is back in the day, well, I would say back in the day, I could pick up a phone and call a studio cold, as you said. Nobody knows me.
Right.
You know, and be able to get someone. Today, you can't do that. I mean, everything is, you have to know exactly who you're calling. You have to know their extension.
Right.
And even then, sometimes you might not get through. And so we are able to get around a lot of that and be able to get in and say, hey, Mr. Vice President, Mrs. Vice President, at this studio, hey, we have a group of young people that you need to talk to. What type of programs are you running down here now? Okay, we can be your contact between the people you're trying to reach and don't know how.
Right.
Just like in marketing films. So we could do the same thing there. And so that's what we've been doing.
Right.
You know, and so that's how we, you know, any young person who wants to reach us, they can. Hey, we have an email, we have phone numbers. You call us, someone will call you back. You know, if you don't get us, you know, right then. Someone will call you back because that's what's very important.
Right.
One of the lessons I learned years ago from a top executive in the at the networks, and that was, hey, if you get a phone call that morning or that day, don't leave your office until you call that person back.
There you go. Yes.
That's very important.
Yes, it is.
You know.
That's gospel right there. I love it. And we had yesterday we had the chance, because business, filmmaking, music are all collaborative, especially in our community.
Right.
And so we had the young man, Rick Warren, and Gerald Simmons, who put together the Black Business Expo and Trade Show that's coming LACC on the 30th and the 1st of the month. And, you know what I'm saying, I was tasked to put together the media center.
Right.
And so we're going to talk, because I want to bring we've been cross-promoting. We talked about you guys yesterday, and, you know, we're going to keep it on.
Right.
And they want to pay homage to Sandra and John and the crew at their event.
Okay.
And that's going to be at LACC on the 30th and the 1st of the month. Of this month, which is a couple weeks after yours, and then the Black Expo. I mean, the Taste of Soul after that. So it's all our communities are doing some things right now. So I'd like to be able to reach out to you guys, and I'm going to figure out how I can bring in some way, and we're going to talk to John about it and see if we can do some screening possibly there at the Black Expo.
Okay.
And do some things and continue bring you guys out there and let you know what I'm saying, we got booths that are set up out there and sign some autographs, or, you know what I'm saying, show off some stuff and shake hands and kiss babies. and get a chance to meet some of the business brokers.
Definitely got
Okay.
the campaign.
The Honor and Maxine Waters and some of the heavyweights there in the
yeah.
business. So we need to collaborate, and we need to introduce these young people to people out there that can do something with it and about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that's what I'd like to do.
Love
We'd like to
to.
talk about. I appreciate it. Folks, you've been listening today to people that have a vision in REEL, REEL, filmmakers. It's called the REEL, Black Men Short Film Showcase. And you save this date. It's September the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of this year, of this month. And it is at the Regal LA Live, which is 1000 West Olympic Boulevard, downtown by your loved Staples Center, Los Angeles, California, 90015. Plug it in. Come out and support these cats, man, and women that have got the filmmakers. And we'd like to thank today Mr. Harris for coming by and showing us, Luke Harris, showing us some of his work. We loved it. Good luck for you. USC alumni. And the SoCal alumni right here from the Bay, from the Yay area. We're talking to Mr. Marquise Jefferson. Thanks for showing up on our devices, man. And
Thanks for having us.
And Mr. John Forbes, one of the guys who works tireless behind the scene, getting it done and helping the recognition. Thank you, John, for bringing them down there and appearing yourself. And
My
from
pleasure.
Miss Sandra
Evers
Manley.
Yep.
We appreciate you doing what you do. And so, guys, I'm going to be there. You've got to be there at the 25th annual. You hear it? You got to be good to last that long. So come down and join us. Thanks today for everybody here. And we give a shout out to you guys there. We will see your face in the place. Get on the phones, make it happen. Call a friend. Tell them you had a good show today and you want to meet this guy here and others that'll be there with today's shorts, which will be tomorrow's feature. For
Amen.
all's here, this is D9 saying be good to yourself, put God first, and everything else will follow. I guarantee it. See you next time.